You are watching the #1 podcast in the whole entire youth wrestling community, and I'm one of your hosts, Juanzo.
And I'm your host, Jean-Paul Leek.
And together we are... Hey, how's every single one of you on this Wednesday evening? And we're going to be talking about AEW Dynamite. Show that, passing grade, but barely like that, just like that. Because, match quality... Maybe, some of the matches were actually really good, but, most of them end up in, of course, disqualifications, ended up with, somebody interfering. Very classical AEW. So, is it worth being a broken record? Probably not. You guys don't want to hear it. I don't want to say it. You know it already. So, there you go. Let's hear from Paul, though.
This episode of Dynamite was all right. To me, the main thing that carried this show was the promos. Britt Baker, she's one of the best promos, out of all the women in all of wrestling. She had a great promo, good video package promo from Aleister Black. Miro had a good promo, but Fuego del Sol, really? That's your opponent? But, and some of the matches were all right. Overall, I would say this was an all right episode. I think it hyped up Rampage a little bit. And, that's what I think everybody's really just looking for.
Exactly. So, thank you so very much to every single one of you for always supporting us, for giving us love every single time in the social media waves. So, thank you for that. Don't forget to also watch the NXT review that we always do on Tuesdays. And Ilya Dragunov was actually part of the NXT America, so that was really cool. And he actually, like you said, he had a great match with Pete Dunne. But in the end, Walter comes out. He get, the Torpedo Moscow. And actually, Ilya Dragunov gets the upper hand on Walter. But... yeah, the ending a little bit crappy, right?
Yeah, and it was a good episode of NXT. They did a lot of stuff to hype us up for TakeOver 36. Just maybe not the way I would have booked it, especially, having the champion look so weak. But we have this picture right here, it is what we want to see at TakeOver 36. We want to see, Ilya Dragunov slay the dragon, that is Walter, and, take that title.
Exactly. So don't forget to watch that, family, because NXT Takeover will be here live. Jean Paul and myself will be dissecting everything, and that's in 2 weeks. That's Sunday. It's Sunday, August 22nd. So, family, this show of the AEW Dynamite started out with MJF and Wardlow. You see the tensions between the two of them one more time. MJF cutting a really good promo about how he wants Jericho to lose. He's not going to be able to pass the fourth labor. He's not going to give birth, as much as he says. And then Wardlow kind of tries to get the upper hand here, and then MJF goes to but you lost to Cody in the cage, right? And then he goes, just get the job done, please. And then you see Wardlow just destroying that apple that he has in his hands. So, I think that, after all of this, I think finally Wardlow is going to be on his own. He's going to be able to have, his own singles career. And MJF finally is going to be split up with him. I think it's time. We've seen this for a long time already. So, it's overdue.
Yeah, I totally agree, especially with what we saw in the main event. Good promo. I like that foreshadowing. He's like, oh, yeah, just like you beat Cody, right? Dude. Just get the job done. Don't be bullshit.
Yeah.
And you can tell he's going to be bullshit, and he's going to lose to Jericho, obviously. So, they're kind of foreshadowing, setting up the tension.
Exactly. You already thinking of what's going to happen. So, that's going to be the main event. Like you guys said, the fourth labor is going to be Jericho against Wardlow. And also, family, this is the match that started out the show. Trios match. Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks going against Don Martin and the Seidels. Matt and the brother, really good match, like you said, really, really intense, and also athleticism to the roof. Just because all of this, 6 guys are really good in the ring, they know how to do the flips, they know that style of wrestling. All 6 of them dominate, understand it, and they know how to execute it to perfection. So that's something that I really like, and good showing for Martin because he was able to counter a lot of offense from the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. So I kind of see that they're going to give him a big push later on. God knows when because CM Punk brand. But at least they're planting seeds for creating a new star in this guy.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why, I really don't know if they're going to, these shows are going to be 2 separate rosters because it's you have so many guys. I think they did a roster breakdown and there's almost 98 men and I forget how many women employed on AEW as wrestlers. So way too many talents, but Martin looked good in here. The Seidels look good, but you always know that the elite's going to win. So you always have that thought in the back of your mind. You go, okay, he's going to kick out. They're going to do this. And the ending was good though. Kenny had him up for the one-winged angel. He gets out of it. Oh my God, is he going to win? Is he going to beat the champ? No. They hit the big 3, knee strikes, one-winged angel.
You won the trio? There's the trio. Just, to make sure. How do they say that? Just for there's a phrase that they use for like good measure. There you go.
Yeah.
That's how they use it. Like you said, and then Don Callis is cutting a promo. This was just, of course, like the stuff that kills Kenny Omega's champion, and also like the Young Bucks because of the outfits that they use. I mean, if they will be a little bit more serious, I don't know, they will actually be more enticing to watch. But this is the stuff that I actually like don't like. But then Christian shows up, and that was cool because finally he was number one contender. And then he comes out, and then he's like, well, you're a dumbass because it's just one against like 5 or 6 that we have here. He's like, no, don't worry. I got my boys. And no Marco's done, so that's fine. And then, do you like the promo between the two here? Like, I love your finisher, but Kenny Omega's going to love to kick out of that. What is it? That was from Stanford. Line. The goofball from Stanford.
Yeah, I love that line when he's like, oh, you're such a great finisher. Kenny can't wait to kick out of it. That was pretty badass. But, I mean, no, this was all good. And then, later on, when the Jurassic Express, because we found out that they're the number one contenders now for the tag titles. So, see, this all makes sense now. Now it makes sense to put, the number one contender with the number one tag contenders to go against the Elite because they hold all the belts. It makes sense now. So, I'm like, okay, this is actually pretty decent. And, hopefully all these guys win. I don't think they will. I could see the Elite beating them, but, I mean, that would be pretty cool to have Christian be the guy to beat Omega. But, what really, and the reason I say that is because it's not for the AEW Championship, it's for the Impact Championship, a title that he's held numerous times, whether it's the Impact or NWA Championship. He's held that belt. And, they're pretty much like, dude, you're not doing anything with our belt. You're not doing anything to be like, oh, Impact's legit or Impact's good. Whether they are or not, that's your opinion, but they're not doing anything with the belt. Yeah, at least give it to Christian. Christian might draw some ratings for Impact. He might help him out because he is a star. People still remember who he is. He can still wrestle. So I think he's going to win. So.
Oh, yeah, no, I think that could be the case because, like you said, they had somebody already, like they knew. To me, it was going to be Joseph Alexander. Maybe, but like this makes total sense. I agree with you. So it'll be the first match in the history of Rampage. Roberg will be covering Rampage. Yeah, we're going to do 2 shows of the AEW. Yeah, we're actually really excited. See the excitement? See how excited we are? Just see how excited we are about doing that. But for you, we're going to do it. So, make sure you support us back. You pay love with love. But like you said, it's going to be good. Hopefully they give it to Christian. It's fine. I don't mind that. So, video package from Malakai Black, Jean Paul, because remember, what a great way to, he took out Cody Rhodes. A lot of people, oh, Cody retired, man. Oh, my God. No, he didn't retire. We're going to talk about Cody because he will never put himself over. The guy's humility to 1,000%, but Malakai Black just gave a lot of reasons why he took care of Cody, and also why he's gonna be the new figure. The man is gonna run AEW. Really cool promo. I like Malakai Black. Finally, somebody understood the character, understood what they can do with this guy. So I'm really, really hoping that that's how the line that they proceed with him. A good thing
I feel like he's allowed to have pretty much creative controls. Like, hey, this is kind of how I want to present my character. This is what I want to do. And they are just figuring out who his opponents are. Because like he said, he's going to just show up anywhere, take anyone out, whoever he wants to. He didn't really call anyone out specifically. I mean, obviously Cody, that feud is still going on. They're going to keep that going until Cody comes back because he's like, oh, people say you already have one foot in the grave. Well, let me know when you want me to put the other one in there. So that line was badass. I enjoyed this. Malakai Black, I mean, hey, he would be somebody who, like you said, Daniel Bryan and Punk, unfortunately, they're going to overshadow everybody. But it's like, man, that would be the perfect guy. You build up Malakai Black because eventually he's going to turn babyface because people love it. He's badass. Him versus Omega, if you're not going to do Hangman, that would be,
exactly. Perfect. No, there's a lot of possibilities that you can play, actually. For example, maybe he does the Black Mass on Kenny Omega. Out. Done. That would be great because Kenny Omega hasn't been pinned in such a long time. So we'll see what happens. And we mentioned this guy doesn't never put himself over. What does he have to do to, stay humble, to stay relevant because it's Cody Rhodes? He will never go and do the same thing that The Miz will do. He will never have his own series on TNT that is called Rhodes to the Top. He will never do that. So why would you ever mention that Cody's a piece of garbage?
As soon as they said, oh, we're have a preview for his new show, I was like, you know what? This is the time where you go take a shit. You go mow the lawn, you take a nap, you write a book, because I would rather do anything. I'm like, no, I'm good on this.
Exactly.
It's like you said, he pretty much came out. He's a hypocrite because he destroyed the throne, but then he just had an interview.
Goes and does the same thing.
And he's like, oh, Triple H is my favorite wrestler. because Triple H can be a wrestler and he can be an executive, and I have a lot of respect.
But at least Triple H, hasn't come up with Triple H to the top, or living to the pedigree style. No, at least at least he stays back on NXT, my product. 10 years of dedication. No, Vince says in 1 minute, gone, my friend. Yeah, no more midgets, Triple H. So let's go to Miro. Paul, he has a good promo one more time. He says he got a match for the TNT Championship last show, and also he says that somebody's gonna sign a contract to do that, another a TNT Championship match at what is gonna be Rampage, and we get what a great matchup here. This is gonna steal the show because these two guys have so much chemistry between each other. Fuego del Sol. Out of everybody of those 98 men, Jean Paul. Fuego del Sol.
I mean, I really don't understand it. See, this was maybe because they have no baby faces. This would be a perfect for a Scorpio Sky as a baby face.
Ethan Page?
Yeah, Ethan Page. I mean, Darby Allin's doing his thing with Sting and all that other stuff. But we said Dante Martin. He even had he has more momentum than Fuego del Sol.
Yeah.
Why can't he have the match or something? I don't know anybody. But
as far as I remember, Fuego del Sol, remember they kick his ass. Chavo and Andrade, they did that last week. I guess that makes you number one contender for the TNT Championship. Okay, next time that you and me get beat up by them, oh yeah, okay, we won our match. I don't understand. It doesn't seem well for me. That's how they love to book. That's fine. Moving on, let's go to, like you said, actually, Danny Garcia going against Darby Allin. This match is remember, it was a 6-man tag last week with Jon Moxley and also Eddie Kingston added to it, and the guys from our Ever Rise 2.0. So this actually was a singles match. But one more time, the same stuff. This is, for me, waste of my time. I'm not, Sting alongside Darby Allin. I still don't understand why. Why does Darby Allin need to come out, with Sting in the match?
And I actually thought about you during this because I believe it was Shivani. He's like, man, there's nothing better than seeing Sting with Darby Allin. That's so great. And he was putting it over, and I'm like, Juan is the exact opposite. But again, for this is you need him every single time in your corner. And Sting doesn't help because we saw 2.0 was out there. They were distracted. They were interfering, and Sting's just so he doesn't do anything. That's where you should come with the bat and fucking whack the guy.
In the match, of course, there was distraction a little bit. That's fine. In the end, Darby Allin got the win. Did you think otherwise? That's my point.
Yeah, I honestly would have enjoyed this match a lot more because both guys are good. If it would have just been the two of them, nobody at ringside, nobody being bullshit, just the two of them and the ref in the ring, until a pinfall. I think
you mentioned Sting, doesn't do anything. There you go. He took both of the guys from Ever Rise. He does even a suplex right there, right on not on the concrete, but right there by when they're coming out. So why is this necessary?
Because what's it setting up next week? A tag match: Darby Allin and Sting versus 2.0.
Oh yeah, there you go. Against 2.0. Whoa, those careers are on the line there. Whoa,
they're just pushing these guys right now for maybe the next 3 or so more weeks, just to be oh, look how legit they are. NXT's evil. They didn't push them. And then after 3-4 weeks, they'll be 2.0, you're on YouTube, you're on, Dark Elevation, thanks for
go by Rampage. Just go back. Just be useless. I don't get it. Sting every single week is just regular. When you should use that guy as your Brock Lesnar, an icon that is just for the special occasions. Not just, I'm there every show, I put the pain every show, whatever. But, that triangle, let's talk about that. Right there, we got to see also, Pac, and they're talking about all the stuff that, Andrade is giving them, just to, make sure that, he recruits them. But, Pac is don't worry, I got you guys, don't be bullshit, don't leave me. I'll learn Spanish, it's all legit. And Penta says a lot of stuff, and then Alex stops, and he was going to translate, but Pac just says, hey, you know what? Andrade is all good, just these guys are never going to leave me. We're all cool here. And he says, well, you and me are going to settle this. So I feel bad for Pac, Paul, because this is another opportunity. This guy could have been AEW World Heavyweight Champion, being the main event for 2 or 3 months. He's never been able to do that aside from the match that they have on Double or Nothing. That's been it. And you know what? I don't think that if you ask Pac, he's was this what you envisioned when you left WWE and you joined here? I don't think so.
Yeah, no, and I honestly wouldn't be surprised if his contract, whenever it expires, he signs a full-time deal with an MLW or even a Ring of Honor or a New Japan. somewhere where they'll be like, okay, we'll use this guy legit, especially like MLW or something like that. But I really don't see, him beating Andrade. So again, it's like, because you need to get Andrade over, right? I mean, if I would push any of the two, I would push Pac because, to me, you need Zelina Vega. That makes Andrade. Everybody knows that. The people who know and like Andrade know him with Zelina Vega. So, that's how you're going to get him over. But the one thing I also liked about this, too, is like, don't worry about Andrade. Worry about the tag team titles. You guys are the best. You should be the champ. That is like, okay, because we're starting to see a couple teams now saying we should be the champs, and that's what we always say. It should always be about the belts. If you don't have the belts, it should always be about the belts.
Good, good catch right there, because that slipped out of my mind. But like, we got to see a promo from Andrade and Chavo, and then Andrade, just like Chavo's doing more of the work because of course Andrade, like the language barrier right there. But like Andrade just says, Chavo, I'm the boss. Don't worry. Don't be talking for me. Actually, Andrade seemed annoyed that Chavo was doing the talking, and he says, well, All Out. So it's going to be at All Out. So they're going to have the match right there. But like you mentioned, Andrade is going to have to like go over just because Pac has been in the company longer, but you got to get Almas over. So, I mean, it sucks. This is a bad idea for me. There's other baby faces that you can use right there. Why don't you use Orange Cassidy in that capacity?
The only thing legit, now this is crazy booking, is if they have Andrade lose and he gets so pissed and he's like, fuck you, Chavo, fuck this, whatever. I haven't, whatever. Or maybe he gets pissed, he's yelling at him, and then we hear, woo! And Flair comes out and Flair's like, I'm going to manage you, I'll make you legit. That would be the only way you could have Andrade lose.
You make me feel my daughter legit, so I'm going to make you legit. And we're going to hand you, yep. And if you win, we're going to give you a contract so you can have your citizenship and you can stay in this nation for good. So there you go, Mr. Almas. Do that. No, we're just making fun of Andrade. But like you said, that would be cool. But there's he's been saying also, he's been very open about that idea. He wants, Rush. He wants like also Charlotte and Ric Flair because he has the whole family together. So maybe at some point it happens. At least the last one to come, it will be Charlotte. So we'll see. But like, Paul, moving on. Yeah, I said Orange Cassidy. Yeah, we had to see this. The lead and of course the hands in the pocket. There you go. Almost like going the Joey Ryan like route here. And Matt Hardy, like, also, like, he's going to have another baby. So this guy loves to, bang. He absolutely loves it. And, hey, good for him. He has the opportunity. Good for him. So, like, this match was, like, pretty, like, just the same AEW fashion. We have Orange Cassidy. We have also Wheeler. We had also Chuck Taylor going against Private Party and Matt Hardy. Statlander was on the outside. We got to see Ali and then Nyla Rose. But in the end, of course, the baby faces almost get the win, but we got to see Matt Hardy executing like he's a deadly, twist of fate. We got to see Jack Evans also making an appearance. So in the end, Matt Hardy and Private Party get the win. I don't know which one is the one that yells, Paul? Isaiah Cassidy or the other one?
I think, that's Isaiah Cassidy.
Yeah, because that's the only thing that is for me is just funny. I don't know how you feel, but like, I'm like,
to me,
it kills it. It kills it. Don't get me wrong, it kills it. But at least it's
Matt
funny.
Hardy come out with all these losers, all these fucking like Jack Evans and Angelico, the Bunny, the Blade. It's like all these losers, and then the baby faces, same thing. Oh, here's Statlander. Then Nyla Rose comes out. Too much shit going on. I didn't care about anybody in this match. I mean, the only thing that was cool was the heels won because we almost never see heels win.
Yep. Because they have to pin Wheeler because of Cassidy will never get pinned. So No, but yeah, like you said, it was fun. I didn't mind it too much. But like, hey, and we're gonna play like a little bit in just a bit because we're gonna be talking about Statlander and Nyla Rose. But before that, another promo by Santana and Ortiz and FTR. This feud is gonna keep going on. I don't know how long, but like they don't have anything else for these guys, and you got to see like Ortiz's face. They don't have anything else to do because it's just like that everything is cool, but if you keep playing it with that, I'm gonna start to get tired of it.
How long? I mean, the intensity's there. Everything is so good. To me, this should be the number one tag feud for the belts. One of these teams should be champions. But how long is Cash Wheeler going to be out?
I know.
It's like how can you have a feud if one guy's missing? So
yeah,
that's the only thing that kind of kills it. But good promo though.
You're right, yeah. So like the good promo, but again, like they need to switch it up a little bit. Like you said, put the titles on any one of them. So at least I believe that there's something else to fight about, because, okay, the hatred is right there, but we've seen it for so long. So switch it out for me. Like I said, Statlander and Nyla Rose, this was also like, whatever. I mean, the best part for me was like this. Vicky is just yelling. I mean, it sucks that like Vicky was always seen in this light. That was the only thing that she was good for. So, you know, Cassidy selling this stuff. And in the end, Nyla Rose gets another one. Job done. You know, Nyla Rose like is such a beast. You know, in the kayfabe world, is such a potent wrestler. Is such a like powerful. In the end, Statlander
she honestly should have been what what was it? Not who
Awesome Kong?
Awesome Kong was the Impact. Like, you know,
yes.
in the early days of Impact, you know, yes. the big, the dominant. Yeah, there might be the small underdog baby face like the Gail Kim who beats her, but 99% of the time she's destroying people. That's exactly how you really should have had Nyla Rose booked. But I think because, you know, we're going to see the match that we're going to get to in a little bit or talk about, you know, we see Britt Baker, Red Velvet. Okay, who's after Red Velvet? Well, it seems like they're pushing Chris Statlander. So that's probably going to be the next opponent.
Yeah,
so I understand her getting the win, but, you know, like it could have been anybody else. This could have been the Bunny. This could have, you know, whoever.
And, you know, for example, like having Vicky there, is it helpful or not? It's not. No,
it's to pop, but nobody's popping for her anymore.
That's what I mean. It's not, you know, it's not, it doesn't produce any results.
No.
You know, it's useless. It's not, you know, but, well, another thing, you know, this is more useless too. You know, Young Bucks just like cutting a promo. I'm sorry, but this is boring, and they have to play basketball every single time. You know why they do it? Because TNT has the rights of the NBA. That's why they do it. You know, don't fool yourselves that they love that. No, they have to do that, and then they're about to like start playing with it, and then you see like Luchasaurus, you got to see Jungle Boy, so they just feature their match that are going to have on Dynamite next week. So this is cool at least, but like, is it where we're going to see a title switch? I don't think so. Just because, you know, it's the Young Bucks. They're not going to drop those titles anytime soon. I think that, like, it doesn't matter, like, if it is Jurassic Express. It would have been a good idea if they will get the titles, because you have FTR, you have Santana and Ortiz there. Maybe you have Penta and also Rey Fenix, but I don't think it's time yet. You know, All Out is probably a time that they will be able to drop those titles.
Yeah, I mean, and if they want to do something crazy, maybe you do, because I love the multi-man matches, do four tag teams in a ladder match.
Yeah.
You know, just do these two teams, and like you said, maybe, you know, the Lucha Bros, and then whoever else you want to throw in there. Another
FTR, yeah. No, do Santana and Ortiz, because Wheeler is still done. But.
Exactly. So, I mean, that's something you could do at the pay-per-view, and then the Bucks could lose the titles that way, because then they wouldn't be getting pinned or whatever. It would be, it's a little bit less of a hurt to them.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You're still protecting the character.
Yeah.
Talking about protecting the character, from Pittsburgh to Pittsburgh, you know, Pittsburgh's own Britt Baker, Dr. DMD, got a good promo, like you said, like Adam Cole. You know, we get to see like the men on Tuesdays, we get to see the woman on Wednesdays. You know, great stuff. The woman has learned how to deliver promos. She believes in herself, in her character, in everything that she says, and he says. So, like, it's really good. Red Velvet came out, you know, once that she's saying the DMD, and then you see, like, interactions between the two. Referees come out, but, like, you are really waiting for Rampage. You know, it's going to be in Britt Baker's also. It's going to still in Pittsburgh, so this is going to be good. It's going to be main event in this show, because at least AEW knows how to, like, do that, and they're not going to give the title to Red Velvet. Because if this will be WWE, they will do that. But at least here, Paul, you know, we're going to see this title match, and Britt Baker's going to come out as champion yet.
Yeah, excuse me, and that's really what I think. You know, this match, like, the fans are behind Red Velvet. This is going to be on Rampage's. Actually, I think they said going to be the main event.
Yes.
Of Rampage. So this is going to be, you know, they're really trying to hype this up, but there's no way Britt Baker's on a roll. There's no way she's going to lose here. And, you know, even her next opponent that I already, you know, penciled in, Tony Khan, you know, thank you, you know, for the booking.
Legit.
But, you know, she's going to beat Chris Statlander as well. I think she's going to go on a huge run. You know, whatever. I mean, to me, if you want to take the title off her, it's got to be Thunder Rosa. That's the only person, because they have that feud. It makes sense, but you need Baker to run through everybody else until she gets the Thunder Rosa.
To make, you, like you said, to make the title also look good, because unfortunately, like, I mean, Hikaru did her job. Maybe she's in Japan right now. You know, maybe she went to see the family. It's fine. You know, a year and a half that she was not in Japan. It's all good. But then, you know, remember Riho, like Nyla Rose, neither one of them were able to make that title, like, significant. So I think that's their job. Like, Hikaru did what she could. Now Britt has to take it to the next level. So talking about titles that don't have any meaning is like right here, Ricky Starks also talking about like the match that he's going to have with Brian Cage. Who in the hell cares about this?
No,
not even Taz, not even Tony Khan, not even like Brian, not even Starks. Nobody. Like, Powerhouse Hobbs done. He's not even in the group anymore. So there's 3 of us now. Where is him? So I don't know. But this is not, to me, it doesn't entice me to do anything. This is absolutely boring and pointless.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if the match will be any good. Ricky Starks is good, but Cage is, maybe if Starks can carry him, okay. Otherwise, yeah, I don't know. I'm not really interested, to be honest.
Nobody's into it, Even like, and you want to go to like things that nobody's into it. Impact World Tag Team Championship, the Good Brothers going against, or the Good Bros going against the Dark Order, Evil Luna, and Stu Grayson. Stu Grayson, Jean Paul, if he will actually be on his own, he'll be a hell of a wrestler. I will tell you, like, he is really, really good in the ring, but unfortunately, he's stuck in this group, and, there's no evolution for him. There's no development. There's no improvement. But like, he got a great showing in this match. We got to see Kazarian also trying to come out, because there's always distractions, always interference. But like I said to you, like, really, really good tag team action between, Evil Uno, at least he didn't look that bad this time. But Stu Grayson, I'm all for the guy. He should have a better opportunity in AEW.
Yeah, that's exactly why, before the Dark Order became such like a joke, a gimmick group, I'm like, okay, Evil Uno can just be like the fat, like weird, creepy one, and Stu Grayson's the guy who's the legit wrestler and carries the team. I'm like, okay, maybe they have something here. And then, they added a lot more jobbers and became super goofy. And then you don't even remember Stu Grayson's a legit wrestler until you see him in matches, but he's the one who's always getting pinned. He's the one who's always looking like an idiot. So, does it really matter? No, Magic Killer, done. Good brother.
And done. Yep, no.
And we had Scott D'Amore on commentary, and he was putting over the Good Brothers, like, oh, yeah, they're legit. We love them. We whack. And I'm like, aren't they assholes on your show? Aren't they?
Yeah, bullshit. Yeah. I mean, Scott's cool, but, he has to sell, like you said. And they got a shot of him once. I don't know. He's like, okay, guys. Yeah, thank you. Bye. Like you always say, here's their hot dog. Here's the soda. Yeah. Have a good day. And Camille, NWA, legit Layla Hirsch. They're going to have a match actually on the 29th. So that's going to be really good. Like also like Chelsea Green's going to be there. Diana Perazzo is going to be on that show defending the Impact Championship against Melina. So Mickie James is trying to do the best to actually give us a whole women's show that actually makes sense. They are using the Forbidden Door. I'm thinking that Jordan Gray should be added to that card to make it better. Maybe like appearance for Tessa Blanchard. Use all the girls that you have at your disposition to actually make it better. So I'm looking forward for this. Like I said, this is like going to be David against Goliath, so it's fine. I know that Camille is going to retain, but at least Layla Hirsch is going to have a good showing, and that's all I need. That's all I care, because the girl has a lot of potential and future for me.
Oh yeah, and Camille, great promo. She's one of those who she's not as good as Ray and Charlotte, but like when they have the face off, you're like, okay, this is pretty badass. It's not like you said, this David and Goliath where. Yeah, Layla Hirsch is a good wrestler, but if you just look at him, it's like, she's not going to win. Like, come on. It's like, okay, she'll try her hardest, but she ain't going to
win. No, yeah, exactly. It's going to be like, 2.9, but it's not going to win. But at least something. This didn't make any sense at all. It's like you said, always like those 10, 15 minutes that you always mention when we do the reviews. It's like, why don't you give me maybe like a better match or maybe like a better promo or give me a little bit more time or whatever. No, this is like QT Marshall again, Tony Giovanni. He grabbed the kid like he did it. And I think they didn't call it the Diamond Cutter. They called it a Stunner. So that was also bad. But like they did it on Tony Giovanni's son. And the Big Show shows up for no reason. The Big Show wants to actually have matches now. I'm hearing that like he put out on a report that like, oh, I'm ready to lace my boots. And he does the chokeslam onto like Bayley's ex-girlfriend, I guess Solomon or whatever the name is. And there you go. That's it. I don't know.
I mean, what are we going to see? Big Show versus QT Marshall? Is QT now the new job guy who just puts everybody over? To me, that's how I would use him. So, good booking there. But, what's Big Show's coming back? Ric Flair just tweeted. He's like, I'll never retire. He tweeted that promo. So who the hell knows what's going on? But this is dumb. But
the Big Show is legit, but like, I mean, really, does he have to come back? I mean, QT Marshall just fought Cha-Cha Charlie, our Godfather, so there you go. Cha-Cha, he got a good show, and I think Cha-Cha won. There you go. Cha-Cha beat QT Marshall, so he should be going against the Big Show, and then we'll see that will be a better match, but that's what they gave us. So also, Paul, next week we're going to see Shawn Spears and Sammy Guevara for like a major announcement. Haven't we seen this already? How many times do we have to see this? I mean, is this for like Cassie Lee or like Peyton Royce? If that's the stipulation, I'm all down for it. But do I have to see these guys one more time? How many times Sammy Guevara is going to win?
How
many times?
I could honestly see this being the winner of this gets a TNT Championship match. That's really the only thing I could think. I don't know what else they would do with this, but again, we've seen these guys fight so many times. Does anyone really care?
Yeah, like, why is this like something? Like, they don't have 98 guys and then you just use 10? Yeah. And the Dark Order are the OD and the other 88. So we don't see them, but, main event, Paul. The fourth labor, Jericho's about to give her Wardlow. This match was actually not too great. Jericho did the best that he could. Wardlow is a big guy. I mean, the interactions were okay. Jericho, like, they were selling also like the injuries, and also like he's been fighting like for 3 weeks in a row. Nick Gage, Juventud Guerrera, and also Sean Spears. Wardlow tried, like, he put him over. Also, Jericho did the same spot that we got to see with the Walls of Jericho, like with Juventud. He actually countered it because he was going to do like a choke slam. So then Jericho applied that. But, Wardlow dominated for pretty much 75% of it. Jericho was always coming back. And then, we got to see Audrey Edwards like taking out MJF because actually given like the ring that he had, he was actually causing distractions. He was trying to like help Wardlow because he knew he wasn't going to win. But then Jericho actually grabbed the bat, kick, he hits like Wardlow with it, and then he hits the Judas effect, 1, 2, 3, and then he wins. So pretty much we knew that was going to be the result. I was actually I wanted to see something a little better like told for me, like the story should have been a little better, but they kept it like very simple, nothing or spectacular. But then the main thing is like, of course, we got to see Sean Spears attacking, and then Sammy Guevara comes out. We got to see also Jay Hager, but in the end Jay said like there's gonna be next week when we're gonna see like the field labor that is MJF, and MJF just mentions and says, well, I'm gonna take the 2 things that like have made you over in all these like 4 labors, and that is like Judas, the theme song, and the Judas effect. You're not going to be able to like use that. And I'm like, cool, because he can use the code breaker because the Judas effect sucks. I don't know who's telling Jericho that like that should be his finisher because he's absolutely awful, and says that like, you're done, man. He's like, you're going to have a new successor, and that's me. I'm going to treat you like a piece of shit that you are, and all of that. But like the one thing that is concerning, look how Jericho, I don't know if he was selling the injury, but he looked actually injured, out of like all these matches, especially when he hit the Judas effect. So that was pretty much the show, Paul. What do you think?
Well, the one thing that, like, as I'm watching this, I was like, what is going on? Because MJF was supposed to be the referee.
Yes.
Why did the stipulation just get dropped? Because every match had a stipulation. Oh, it's going to be no rules against Nick Gage. It's a chair match, but only Sean Spears can use a chair. Oh, you have to win against Juventud with a maneuver from the top rope. And then this had no stipulation at all. It was because MJF was supposed to be the ref. I have results right here from last week pulled up to verify. It says MJF said the stipulation, he'll be the ref.
So
he wasn't the ref. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Then you obviously, because that would have been maybe too obvious. MJF could have been boom, boom, boom. Wardlow wins. So I don't know. It was dumb. The attack afterwards, seeing all these guys beating each other up, all this. It was just a circus. It's a circus with clowns, and they all just come in, and they all got to do their act, do their spot. It should have just been, he wins, Jericho, even if it was just MJF who just punched him with the ring and whatever, that should have been it. Not have everybody else come out.
Yeah, we got to see like Soul of the Year also, like I think that's what really, I don't know if he was selling the injury one more time, but like maybe he got, I don't know what happened, but I agree with you. Like there's no point for this. I mean, they're not gonna do it on All Out, so I like that. And you know why they change it? Brian and CM Punk. They say, okay, guys, your shit is legit, but let's get this shit out of the way.
He did, and the stipulation was you already said, he can't use the Judas effect, but again, not having a stipulation here because just blindly just forgetting it. And I want to hear what all the other AEW, all the other podcasts who review, if they're gonna be like, oh, this was legit, or if they're going to actually call them out like we did, because,
because they did change it. Like, look, MJF at ringside and was supposed to be the ref.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah. Like, way too much, again, and then adding another show. I mean, hey, we appreciate AEW. We're not haters here. We just state the obvious. We're not trying to be overly critical about it, but if it is blandly, like, shown to you, what are you going to do? Like, just look elsewhere, not acknowledge it? Oh, we're Roman. We acknowledge. So yeah, that's what it was. An AEW show, Dynamite. I don't think this is gonna break 1 million. I'm telling you that right now. It's not gonna break 1 million. I don't think that it was that good of a show to do that. But we'll see what happens. And family, thank you so very much for the attention. I hope that we entertain you guys. Don't forget tomorrow we have NXT UK. It's going to be a good show. The beginning of the Heritage Cup #1 contender tournament. Lots more things. And, of course, for Friday is going to be SmackDown. Don't forget, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, give the video a like so more people are exposed to original Rope Break. And Paul, tell us where they can find us.
I think, guys, make sure you follow us, Rope Break on Facebook, OG Rope Break on Twitter, Original Rope Break on Instagram, Twitch, and TikTok, and, of course, right here on YouTube, the home of the #1 podcast in the YouTube wrestling community, the Original Rope Break.
You and me, one more thing that is left to say, and that is...